Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Jing Dynasty podcast. And I don't really have a title yet, but I want to title it "Why I'm Still Single Part 2." And I want to kind of talk about my reflections after making that first episode there, which got quite the reaction from everybody. It might have been the shirt. It might have been the shirt. Cece, my best friend, Oracle manager, supporter, psychologist. I mean, I could go on and on. She is going to be joining me for this episode because I felt like I was rambling like a jackass on the last one. So anyway, she's going to come and chime in. But tell me, if you don't like Cece, tell her to get the out. If you do like Cece, we'll be keeping her. So no pressure, Cece. You better kill it tonight. Just kidding. But I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about bringing additional guests on. But like honestly, listening to the last podcast, I was kind of like, damn, I talked for like 20 minutes straight, and it was nuts. So anyway, I'd love to, kind of like have a conversation with Cece. Mainly me blabbing because that's pretty much what our friendship is like already. Am I wrong?
True story.
Yeah, but so yeah, actually, Cece, I published that last episode, and I felt a little bit weird about it because I was like, here I am making all these excuses for why I'm still single, and like, what's kind of wrong with everything around me, and like, I felt like I was kind of like not taking ownership for anything. Like, I wasn't like, I'm single because of these things wrong with me. And I was almost afraid to publish that episode. But then I got lazy. And I didn't want to make another first episode. So I was like, we're going to post that and we'll just see what happens. Again, y'all, if you have been a fan of the Jing Dynasty, you know that we are a small organization. And by small, I mean 2 people, myself and Cece, my best friend, who is just an amazing supporter of me. And like, it is exhausting what we do. Like, it's exhausting. Like, we do the jobs of so many people because we want to make content that y'all like. Like, we literally each day we are just like working for you, making TikToks, making YouTube videos. I'm streaming on Twitch. Like, we want to keep y'all happy. And we do, like, I'm acting like it's hard work. It is hard work, but we do really enjoy it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this still. But anyway, I totally am rambling again, Cece, but I want to talk to you about, like, just kind of some of the reflections I had after making that first episode. So, I'm just going to lay it all out. Like, why not, right? I have gone on a couple Bumble dates as of late. And one of the guys was very attractive, and we had turmeric coffee together with almond milk. Thank you. And it was very LA. And he was super attractive. And I felt like we clicked on like a different level, and he kept on being like, tell me more about yourself and all this stuff, and was like asking me all these questions about myself, and I was like, wow, he's like super interested in me. And I found myself talking about how my brother passed away, and I found myself talking about some issues I had like in past workplaces, and I found myself talking about past relationships. And my last episode, I was like, I overshare. I tell people everything about myself because I don't want them to like get disappointed later. Like, I want to be like upfront and be like, yo, this is me. This is my trauma. This is what's up. Like, take it or leave it. Like, and I feel like I love that about myself. But after talking to my therapist, yes, I have a therapist. If you don't have a therapist, like, go get a therapist. It helps. It helps. But I talked to my therapist, and I was like, man, like, I had a really good date with this guy. And then right after that guy, I went on another date with a guy, and not as hot, I'll be honest. Tall, but not as hot. But super into me, like wildly into me. And I was like, whoa, this guy really, really, really likes me. He's like basically telling me that he loves me. Coming in hot. Guy was coming in super hot. And I was like, I actually really like you, and I like want to get to know you better. So like, let's slow things down a little bit, you know? And the guy and I hung out the next day, just got coffee, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, like a little fast, but we're just getting coffee. And like I was like, just we were kissing a little bit, but I was like, I don't want to do like a lot here. Like, let's keep things slow. And then the guy, like the next day, messages me after like professing his love for me, telling me that I'm perfection, telling me that like he sees a future with me, and like that he wants to have kids, like all this like really dramatic stuff. And then he's like, dude, I guess I'm just like not feeling it anymore, and I just want to like let you know and be honest. And I was just like,
what?
This is a 180. Like I texted him, I said, this is a 180. And then I just, me, Aries, we just react. I didn't think through what I was saying. And I just go, did I do something? I'm like, what happened? I think something like that was what I texted. And then I went, I just don't care. Like, I was like, I'm used to this. Because I am used to guys coming in hot, doing everything they can to get with me. And then just like dropping like it's hot. Like, I'm used to this. Like, this is the story of my life, actually. And so he wrote some lame excuse. He was like, oh, you seem like you really want a public life. I was like, I got an Instagram and I stream on Twitch. Like, who doesn't do, like, I guess a lot of people don't stream on Twitch, but like, I don't think I'm doing anything that extra, But anyway, yeah, I was like, okay, maybe that's a valid excuse or whatever. But,
I talked to you're a content creator, you're in the public eye, that's a small public eye, so,
Cece keeping it real. It's a small public eye. Yeah, I mean, it was a cop-out.
Right now, I'm not, I've always told you, hey, you could be famous one day.
No.
Set our goals high.
Not happening. But I really appreciate my small, like, Jing dynasty. Like, I absolutely love my community. Like, that's why I'm doing this podcast. Because I'm like, all right, like, my devoted people. Like, y'all know who you are. They have been so good and faithful and loving to me. So I'm like, okay, like, and they've asked me for a podcast. So, like, here y'all go. Like, I love y'all back. But so I talked to my therapist about these two guys coming in flaming hot and then just dropping off. Cece with this. Yes, they came in like a wrecking ball. Thank you so much for that, Cece. So yeah, and I was just like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? And it was actually really interesting because she was like, Jacki, because I said, I laid down boundaries with these guys. Like, these guys were trying to, like, make out with me and trying to get, like, frisky really fast. And I was like, no, like, let's take it slow or whatever, right? So I was laying down boundaries. Yes, thank you. I need a round of applause for that, apparently. I'll take it. But, I was laying down boundaries. But then she was like, yeah, but, like, verbally speaking, I wasn't. Verbally, I wasn't putting down boundaries. And that really, like, made me take a step back for a second. Like, I was like, I am not, let's all be honest. I word vomit. I overshare. I say too much. Like, this is the story of my life, right? But I never realized that I was, like, offending people or making people uncomfortable. And when my therapist was like, yes, you're putting down physical boundaries, but you're not putting down emotional boundaries, it really hit me. And I was like, you know what, Jacki? Like, you have to evolve. You have to learn how to put down emotional boundaries. And Cece and I are very different people. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Everything you want to know about Jacki, I'll probably tell you. Like, you ask, I'm going to tell. Like, I feel like I got nothing to hide. Cece is a very, and I don't want this to sound bad, but Cece, you got your walls up and you're protective. And she is like a mother. Like, she's like, oh, what is this mofo trying to do? Like, she's like, I can sniff out the shit like a mile away. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, I'm like, what are you talking about? He seems like a great dude. And she's like, you're blind, you're dumb, I can't handle it. So I mean, we're kind of like two extremes.
Not that dramatic, but okay, yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, but I guess like I was just like, I need to evolve. And when I meet a guy, like I should probably not be laying out my past relationships, issues I've had. Like I shouldn't be. Maybe the conversation about Ian, about my brother. Like maybe I'd be a little bit more protective about that stuff. And like I don't want to ever hide who I am. Like I'm Jacki Jing, and I'm not arrogant about it, but like I don't want to have to hide myself. Like I want to be me, but I don't want to make people uncomfortable, and I want to like make sure that like people are enjoying my company. So yeah, physical boundaries are not enough. Like I have to learn like emotional boundaries as well. So I guess like this podcast, this episode, I felt like last week I was really like, I'm too tall and I got a big personality and I might be intimidating. Like I was like listing these reasons why I'm single, but like let's take a look at myself. Like let's look in the mirror, and I scare guys away. I scare guys away because oh my god, I'm being so honest on this podcast. I scare guys away, and that's my shell. Like, I don't want to be in a committed relationship, and I don't want to be vulnerable with people, so I scare them away. So it's like I overshare and I word vomit because I'm like, how will anyone like want to be with me if I say all this at the get? And I do a lot of things that are self-sabotaging. And my therapist was like, you're very aware of all the things that you're doing. Like, Jacki, like, you're not in denial. Like, I'm like, I did this and this, and, probably wasn't the best approach. Probably wasn't smart. And she's like, you're fully aware of what you're doing. Like, I'm not like, it's not like she's like, hey, Jacki, you might be oversharing with these guys and you might be going over the top. And I'm like, what? How dare you? Like, I'm not in denial. Like, I'm like, I probably overshared. I probably said too much. And she's like, if you know, then why are you doing that? And she asked me, she said, why are you doing that? And it literally hit me like a train. Like, I was like, oh, I'm a Cancer rising, by the way, everybody. That's the crab, if you are well aware of astrology and zodiac stuff. So that's my shell. My shell is, guys see me and they feel like there's a connection there. And so instead of having emotional boundaries and slowly opening up to them about extremely difficult, traumatic things that a level of intimacy requires, a level of time requires, I just shove it in their face so they leave me alone. So I cannot be with anyone because I don't feel at this point right now that I'm worthy to be with anyone. Drop the mic. No, but really, like, it's just crazy that I did that last episode of why I'm still single, and I am still single because of myself. I'm still single because I don't love myself, and I still have walls up. And it's funny because my walls are excessive vulnerability. My walls are just being so much that people will just not want to be around me. And it's funny because, like, oh, I've been called a narcissist, believe it or not. How dare someone? But you know what? Like, I do come off like that on camera, right? Like, I got a big personality. Like, I got, like, these little hair extension things. This is real. The black part's real, but this pink and purple stuff is fake. I just want to clarify. This is real. I've had people pull my hair. I'm like, no, I'm Scottish and Chinese. This is real. Please do not yank this. The pink is fake. But I digress. What was I talking about?
Narcissism.
Narcissism. Yeah. If you really know me, and again, this is a shell. Like the shell is like this big bravado, like all this big personality. You can ask Cece, like, I'm really a softie. Like I'm really like caring, and I'm a nurturer. Like I'm motherly. Like I care about like the people who are close to me dearly, and I don't let a lot of people in.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Like I am still single because I am not ready to be with someone right now, and it's me, and it's my choice, and I keep on like trying to blame LA and the guys and their emotional unavailability. But I am the fuck girl who is emotionally unavailable, and it is time to stop pointing fingers and to turn the mirror around and like take a hard look at myself. So I have always been a strong, independent, fiery woman, right? And I pride myself on that. Like I love that about myself.
Confident.
Really, Cece, thank you for the commentary. Just gotta add in confidence.
Why are you happy, right?
Yeah, yes. But I am not happy with me, and I'm not ready for someone. And I need to figure out why I'm pushing people away. I need to figure out why I am scaring people away intentionally. And I need to, you know, just, and I hate to admit this, it's because when I was younger, I was bullied really badly, and they had control. Like, they saw me as like below them, and they saw me as like repulsive, and they saw me as like weak. And so what I did was I became really strong and really independent and really fiery. So they didn't like me because of me, because that was the way I was. You know what I mean? Like it was like I gained some sort of control. Like it was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna be the most. So you don't like me because I'm the most. Exactly. So it's time to unplug the matrix, everybody. And it's time for me to like refine myself, right? Like I need to stop caring about what everybody thinks and stop going on Bumble dates and learn emotional boundaries and learn how to actually, you know, develop intimacy, develop depth, develop like the appropriate relationship to have that vulnerability. And you know, I get lucky every once in a while. Like Cece broke down the wall, right? Cece's a stubborn Capricorn, so you know how she be. She knew that there was something very wrong with me, and she just wouldn't stop coming. I like tried to push her away. Y'all think like you've seen the most, like you even want to know what Cece's seen. Like I am like Grey Gardens sometimes. Like it's like I am like the biggest diva, Aries sun, Leo moon coming out. Like but there are people who've like broken the Cancer shell and like gone to see the real me. But I put up a fight. I don't let people see that easy. So I'm grateful for my friendship with Cece. I'm actually really happy that we did this episode together. And yeah, I really, really want to get to know myself again. And on that note, we just hit 20 minutes, so we're going to have to wrap up episode 2 here. If you enjoyed the podcast, please make sure that you leave a review. If you hate the podcast, please do not leave a review. Like, I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that. Thank you. And, you know, like, follow me on social media. Like, I'm on everything, right? YouTube, TikTok. I'm missing some. Twitter, Instagram, you know, all that jazz. So please go check that out. And I think I'm gonna go stream some video games. So check me out on my stream, twitch.tv/JackiJing. Bye everybody.